Beautiful winter day in New York. We're in Westchester outside of New York City. And my name is Jacob Ziemer, and I've coached thousands of people to get in the best shape of their life. Real people with careers and families. And today we are headed into Costco to find easy to make dinners. The purpose of this video is to empower you to have high protein, high fiber, low calorie dinners that are easy to make. And Costco has a ton of awesome options. So we're not just going to look at traditional options like chicken, seafood, ground meats. We're also going to look at some of their pre-made options that they have. But we're going to run the gamut here. There'll be pasta options, there'll be pre-cooked options, and then there'll be your traditional throw it in a crock pot, throw it in an oven. But all of them are going to be easy to make, high protein, high fiber dinner options. So we're going to head into Costco, and I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do so that you can make dinner in a hurry that's actually going to help you lose fat and build muscle. Option number one is what we call the Monster Mash. It was invented by a bodybuilder named Stan Efferding, but it's a great meal for the entire family. We're gonna take a ground meat that is ideally 73.7 or greater, 94.6. We want a lean protein source. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook up the ground meat, and then we're gonna add either potatoes or something like brown rice, something that's high in fiber, along with vegetables into a bowl, and then pour bone broth over top. So we have this ground turkey here. This is 160 calories with 22 grams of protein. It passes our protein test. We take the grams of protein, 22, add a 0 to it. Does it have that many calories or less? This in fact does. We're able to cook up a lot of it in bulk and then add the potatoes or the rice along with the vegetables to jack up the fiber. Our second easy to make dinner option is going to involve ground meat yet again, but this time beef, and we're going to be having it with Goodles, which is a high protein, high fiber mac and cheese. They have both the single serving and the boxed option here at Costco. Now I said when we buy ground meat, we want to buy 93.7 or greater because it passes the protein test, but it's also a lean source of protein. Here in front of me, I have 88.12 ground beef to highlight that fact. You can see that it still passes our protein test with 22 grams of protein, 210 calories. But the issue is that it has 5 grams of saturated fat. And when you're eating a lot of animal protein, you're already gonna get enough saturated fat in your diet. You wanna make sure that you prioritize lean sources of protein. Saturated fat in high amounts can lead to heart disease. With this Goodles, we're gonna cook up our ground meat. We're gonna add some vegetables to it. I like spinach, I like onions, I like mushrooms. After that is done cooking, simultaneously with our mac and cheese, we're going to take the cheese sauce, blend it up with some non-fat cottage cheese, really hike up the protein, and at the end, I'll add it into a bowl, and we have a super high protein, low calorie, high fiber dinner option. Our third option is gonna be a chicken sandwich. We're gonna take chicken breast because it's very lean, it's very high in protein, and what's gonna make this so convenient is we're gonna preheat our oven. We're gonna take 2 sheet pans. One, we're gonna lay our chicken breasts on. The second, we're gonna put our vegetables on. I like broccoli, I also like Brussels sprouts because they're both very high in fiber, and they're also rich in an antioxidant known as sulforaphane. Allow those 2 sheet pans to cook simultaneously. Once done, we're gonna add the chicken breast to a high fiber bun. 647, a Schmitz brand that is high in fiber, is represented here at Costco. Unfortunately, they only have the bread, not the bun. So I'm gonna post up multiple high fiber bun options, and you can choose whichever you like, but you're gonna have to buy it somewhere else besides Costco. And then we're gonna make sure that we use a condiment, whether it's Primal Kitchen's buffalo sauce or Sweet Baby Ray's zero sugar barbecue sauce. There's a ton of amazing low calorie condiments on the market. Just make sure that it's less than 30 calories per tablespoon. My name's Jacob Ziemer, and I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. There are plenty of apps out there that focus on your training or your nutrition or even your health. However, very few apps address all 3 aspects. And in order to get in the best shape, you must address all of them. For that reason, my app has an educational program that will teach you about preventative health, blood work, cardiovascular activity, along with providing custom training for as many days as you can commit to and the exact gym equipment you have available. Also, you will have a tailored nutrition plan based on your unique physiology. I wanted something that everyone could afford. All of this is available for $1 a day on my website. Right now, if you click the link in bio under app, there's a 7-day free trial. I'm looking forward to helping you change your life. For our fourth low-calorie, high-protein dinner option at Costco, we're gonna do a seafood pasta. On my YouTube channel, I have a complete guide to all the high-fiber, high-protein pastas on the market. Brahmi is one of my favorite, both in macros and in taste. So I like to cook my shrimp with some lemon, some garlic. We're gonna cook our Brahmi simultaneously, add them together, and then over top, I like to squeeze lemon with a little bit of olive oil for my seafood pasta. When selecting shrimp, Costco has plenty of options, but we wanna make sure that it's wild caught. So that's severely gonna limit our choices. This wild Argentine red shrimp, it is wild caught, and that's why I've selected it. Option number 5, we're looking at Kevin's Natural Foods. They have a Hawaiian style chicken. They also have this Korean barbecue style beef, and both of these pass our protein test. And I actually really like Kevin's as a pre-made meal in terms of taste. You always want to be mindful of your total sodium intake. This has 30% of your sodium intake in one meal. However, if most of the foods that you're eating throughout the day are single ingredient foods, you don't have to be worried about getting 30% of your sodium from one meal. If you are having multiple meals like this a day, then it might be cause for concern because about 15% of the population is sodium sensitive and it can contribute to high blood pressure. But again, having a meal like this from time to time is perfectly fine and it's incredibly convenient. And so for these reasons, Kevin is one of our easy to make dinner options. Looking at options number 6 and 7, we have Cuisine Solutions, and they have this beef sirloin and they have this seared salmon. However, what I'm gonna tell you is actually skip these and instead use them as inspiration to cook the salmon and the steak they have here available at Costco in your air fryer. Yes, these are fully cooked, but again, they're going to be higher in sodium, so you can simply take steak and cook it in the air fryer. It's very convenient. The same is true with salmon. It's a very simple way to prep dinner. So for options 6 and 7, we're actually just gonna take inspiration from Cuisine Solutions and cook our salmon or cook our steak in the air fryer ourselves. Option number 8, this is one of my favorite items at Costco, period. This is their garlic seasoned party wings. Sadly, this does not pass the protein test. It doesn't mean it's a bad food. It just doesn't mean it's optimal for hitting our protein requirement while keeping our calories down. However, if through the rest of the day you got plenty of protein and you have calories left to spare, this is incredible tasting chicken wings that are still not that high in calories compared to normal chicken wings. Toss these in the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you can use your oven at home, but either way, it's a real treat for your taste buds. Option number 9, we're looking at the Rotisserie Chicken here at Costco. Everyone is concerned about microplastics, and so should you. These bags are designed for high heat, but let's face it, it's still chicken in plastic. So this falls under the once in a while category for me. Like a lot of items at the end of our list here, they're not an everyday food decision. However, rotisserie chicken is very easy to use to make a fajita, on a mission carb wrap, or easy to put over top of a salad. So the convenience is really there. If you're not concerned about having your coffee in a plastic container or in a water bottle, I wouldn't be overly concerned about having your rotisserie chicken in plastic. But I would say really be aware of microplastics and try to reduce them as much as possible while living in the year 2025. And our 10th and final option here at Costco is going to be a burger. I have in my hand here Amy Lou's. This is their chicken burger. Many Costco's also have Bubba's turkey burger. Both of those pass our protein test. Many of the burgers here at Costco, unfortunately, don't. To this burger, we're going to add a high fiber bun. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to buy that elsewhere. And that's 10 awesome dinner options that are easy to make, low in calorie, and high in protein here at Costco. If you like what you saw today, please hit subscribe. I put out long format content each and every single week on YouTube, and then short format content daily. This content surrounds going to the grocery store, lifting weights, doing cardio, going to see medical providers to get a deeper understanding of health and fitness. My name's Jacob Ziemer. I've been a coach in the Westchester area for the past 10 years, and I've helped thousands of people transform their bodies and transform their health and fitness. Thanks for following along today. If you want to learn more about my services, you can go to jacobziemer.com.